Hello and welcome to this new video. Today I want to talk about a quick bunch of things. So first of all, thank you for the 10,000 sub. That's really appreciated. It's getting me further and further, closer and closer to my goal of making this my job, because this is actually what I want to do. I would like to make Linux videos 24/7 and to be able to do some live streams, to do more videos, and it would fit with my life because yes, I have a family to take care of, and it's kind of complicated with a full-time job and making videos. You see, it's kind of complicated. So thank you for getting me closer to that goal. Now, I just want to make this quick video to be able to give you an update on everything that's going on in my head right now. Sadly, no other video will be done this week. I didn't have the time, and I worked on a bunch of things, so probably 2 videos next week, but for now, no other video this week. Anyway, for those that care about the status of the channel, there's 2 big news that I have. One that's a little bit weird, and the other one that's positive. Let's start by the little bit weird one. First of all, YouTube has kind of told me that they are reviewing my partnership to the YouTube Partner Program. For those who don't know, YouTube Partner means monetization. So when you're a partner, you can monetize your video, you can receive money from YouTube. And when you're not, you don't receive jack hish. Okay, so you kind of understand how it works. Now, the issue is that they're saying that I'm not the real maker of my videos. They're saying that I'm stealing my own content. So I've made a video just for them that kind of explains that I don't really know what they're talking about, and that kind of proves that the content is mine. Anyway, I think that they're going to take care of that, right? It would be a little bit ridiculous to think that they're going to purge my membership just because of a bug. But again, it's kind of stressful when you see that and you're like, yeah, I don't really want my membership to be purged. So that's going to be reviewed and fixed within the next week. So yeah, let's hope for that. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is about memberships. Yes, I have added memberships, so as long as I'm not getting purged in the next week, we should be able to start a new membership program, which allows you to pay a little fee to me in order to make the dream of making this my job a little bit faster. Now, it will also allow you to, of course, you're not only funding things, you're getting something too. You're getting the video a little bit faster. So most of the time when I make my video, I try to release them on a set date. So you're going to get it before that set date, probably like 24 hours before, or whenever I upload them. So the people that normally listen to the video, you will see them at the same time. I'm not releasing them later. I'm just releasing them earlier for those that are in the membership. So if you're a member, look up for that. So you see, the goal is making more content available faster because I can make this my job, so I can make more content. You get the gist of it. Now, that's about all the big news that are happening. I can tell you a little bit what the next few videos will be. First of all, there's going to be the follow-up to Linux from nothing. We're going to compile everything on our own system. In a follow-up video after that, because right now, because we compile things outside of Linux from nothing, it causes a bunch of issues, and it's actually what I'm battling to be able to make this work. So that's a first thing that we're going to need to fix. Now, there's also other things that I've kind of delved into and that I really like. One example would be the WASM, the WebAssembly x86 emulator v86. v86 allows you to run a Linux distro. Well, there's other distro too that it can run, but Linux distro on your browser. So you could have a Windows browser, Linux or Mac browser or whatever browser. As long as it's WebAssembly compatible, you will be able to emulate what is kind of a small QEMU for x86. So from that, we can do a bunch of cool things, like make what is a small Linux from nothing web app that you can kind of play around with. So that's something that I'm looking into. I'm also looking into making specialized distro. So now that we've learned through LFN a little bit how Linux work at this small level, we can take that knowledge and use it to make a distro that is only there to run one thing, run one command, run one service, or run like one program. One example of that would be menu config. So, when you compile the kernel, you do make menu config. Well, if I now fuse those two ideas together, if I compile it for 32-bit and I compile a standalone version of make menu config, I could maybe make a menu config that could work in your browser and that you could play around with. Now, this already kind of exists, although it uses emscriptem, which is a way to transform C into WebAssembly. But I want to use the emulator method to be able to do it, and also make sure that we can have the latest configuration of the kernel, because the version that exists, it's called menuconfig.org. It's fun if you want to play with it, if it works, because it seems to crash a bunch of time. But anyway, it's old configuration, so it's 4.17, I believe, the latest Linux kernel that actually works with it. So it's not really fun to have a really old version to play with. I want to make this an updated version, or one that could self-update or would update simply, so I don't have to play around with it to make it work. Anyway, you understand it. I want to make a web version of a Linux that runs make menu config to be able to see the config of all the kernel version under all architecture, and that could be done on any browser using x86 emulation. So you see a little bit where I'm going with all of those projects. That's really interesting to me. Again, if you want to see I'm going to put a few links in the description in my notes. So V86 is the project. You can see they have a bunch of example there that you can play around with. It's really interesting. You should go and check it for the WebAssembly x86 emulator, and menu config 2 is fun, but I want to make that better. So that's what I'm doing right now. I hope you enjoy, and I hope that this thing with YouTube and the partner program gets resolved. I hope. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys, and I hope that we can push to grow this channel and make sure that I can make I could make this my job as soon as possible, because God, do I love making content for you guys. So, without further ado, I'll go back to work into pushing my video and also making sure that I can make a new elephant video and all of the other content that I'm kind of promising you guys right now. So I'll go back to work and you go back to enjoying my content. So anyway, see you next week. Take care.